Students, I am going to explain about page fault in demand paging topic from operating system subject. So already we know how we can represent a valid and invalid bit to a particular page inside the page table, and means the page is not available in a particular frame means we can represent with a 0 number, otherwise with I letter. If it is reside in a particular frame inside the page table, then we can represent with one number and with the V letter. Notice that here marking a page invalid will have no effect if the process never attempts to access the page. There is no problem. Here, while the process executes and accesses pages that are memory resident, execution proceeds normally. But here what happens if the process tries to access a page that was not brought into memory? We have to question yourself. If it is not brought into memory but the process is trying to access a page that is not brought into memory actually. Access to a page marked invalid, that is, causes a page fault trap. The paging hardware in translating the address through the page table will notice that the invalid bit is set, causing a trap to the operating system. So this trap is the result of the operating system's failure to bring the desired page into memory, rather than an invalid address error as a result of an attempt to use an illegal memory address. Here we have a procedure for handling this page fault is straightforward. So here we have some steps actually. We check an internal table usually kept with the process control block for this process to determine whether the reference was a valid or invalid memory access. So we can do what pure demand paging based on that. Never bring a page into memory until it is what required. In the extreme case, we could start executing a process with no pages in memory initially. When the operating system sets the instruction pointer to the first instruction of the process, which is on a non-memory resident page, the process immediately falls for that particular page. After this page is brought into memory, the process continues to execute, faulting as necessary until every page that it needs is in memory. At that point, it can execute with no more faults. So that the hardware to support demand paging is the same as the hardware for paging and swapping. Here we need to consider two different things. Page table. This table has the ability to mark an entry invalid through a valid invalid bit or special value of protection bits. Second one is secondary memory. This memory holds those pages that are not present in main memory. The secondary memory is usually a high-speed disk. It is known as the swap device, and the section of disk used for this purpose is known as the swap space. So a page fault can occur at any memory reference. If the page fault occurs on the instruction fetch, we can restart by fetching the instruction again. If a page fault occurs while we are fetching an operand, we must fetch and decode the instruction again and then fetch the operand. And we have a paging hardware here, how it is working. So steps in handling the page fault. So whenever the page fault is happening, so what are the steps we have to follow? Here we are loading that whatever the value is there, means the reference value is there. So after that, second one, if the second one. So first we are going to take the reference value into the page table. So that is a invalid or valid one. Based on that, if the reference was invalid, what is happening? I is there. We terminate the process if it is a valid, but we have not it brought in that page. We now page it in. So now third one, we find a free frame now. So that free frame means by taking one from the free frame list, for example. Okay, one from the free frame list. So now the fourth one. So after taking the fourth one, we schedule a disk operation to read the desired page into the newly allocated frame. Now, fifth one, when the disk read is completed, we modify the internal table kept with the process and the page table to indicate that the page is now in memory. So, we kept inside that particular page. Sixth one, we can restart the instruction that was interrupted by the illegal address trap. The process can now access the page as though it had always been in memory. So we save the state here. What are the things are there? The registers, condition code, instruction counter of the interrupted process. When the page fault occurs, we can restart the process in exactly the same place and state, except that the desired page is now in memory and is what? Accessible 1. Now here, after getting the page into the page table, it is now marked as what? Valid 1. So now we have if the instruction is not going to be read at the previous stage, then we have to restart the instruction now. So after getting the page now. So if a page fault occurs while we are fetching an operand, we must fetch and decode the instruction again and then fetch the operand. As a worst case example, here we are consider a 3 address instruction such as add the contents of A to B, placing the result in what? C. These are the steps to execute this instruction. First, fetch and decode the instruction, that is add. Second point is fetch A. Third point is fetch B. Fourth one is add A and B. And fifth one is store the sum in what? C. So here, if we falter when we try to store in C, because C is in the page, not currently in memory, we would have to get the desired page, bring it in, correct the page table and restart the instruction. The restart would require fetching the instruction again, decoding it again, fetching the 2 operands again and then adding again. So here what is happening? And other examples also they are giving here. Modify multiple locations while executing this page fault can be problematic. 1. The next one, what happens if there is no free frame actually? Page replacement, find some page in memory but not really in use, swap it out, and we have to use page replacement algorithm, and the performance is also what an algorithm which will result in minimum number of page faults we have to find out by using the algorithm. Same page may be brought into memory several times based on that algorithm. This is nothing but what? The page fault and how it is going to be happening as valid from the invalid to valid, and how we are restricting the instructions. Otherwise we are re-executing the instructions again if the page is not available in the memory. So how we have to get the page into the memory so that we are re-executing the instructions in the previous slide. And now if there is no free frame, then what we have to follow?